continue with the parts of the cell, but we can't forget anything we've learned up to this point. So these chemical reactions that are occurring throughout the body, remember, they're taking place in the cell also. Materials have to get to the cell to be used, and we have to know why they're used. A decrease in oxygen levels. I mentioned carbon monoxide. All right, is everybody familiar with that? Okay, what is it? Huh? Well, we breathe out carbon dioxide. But what is, Patrick, did you say something about carbon monoxide? It's a poisonous gas. And the reason I mention it right now, weather's cold. People are probably burning, say, for example, log fires. They might be using the propane tank gas type things, okay? You run the risk of increasing that poisonous gas, for example, in your house. And because it's poisonous, but the thing about it is, not a whole bunch of smell to it, none that I know of, okay? And if it gets into your cells, it competes for oxygen. And that's why you die. Because oxygen cannot get to your cells. Can you think of any physiological disorders that a person might have where maybe their oxygen levels in their body are affected? A respiratory problem, COPD, asthma, bronchitis, and if they affect their oxygen levels, they're going to affect the activity of what in their body? Well, cellular respiration, but my cells as a whole. Is that it? Are you seeing how I want you to start making connections? Does that make sense?
So are you saying that basically the creation of cells?
It could be, now, when you begin to affect cells at their cellular level, yes, it could actually be their normal activity, and depending upon how often they regenerate, you could actually be affecting their regeneration rates. You could be affecting their product that they make, which is proteins. And proteins are carrying out the activities of that cell. Yes, you can actually be affecting that entire ability of the cell, which would then in turn begin to affect the tissue. So if we're thinking about, let's use our COPD or our respiratory problems, okay? Not only are you affecting lung tissue, but because that's the ability to get oxygen to all other tissues of your body, you're affecting that. Meaning you're affecting all the tissues of your body, the ability to function correctly. Does that make sense on how there's a connection? Okay, because we're going to see this. We're going to see this throughout every topic we talk about. We're going to see that connection at the cellular level, because it's at the cellular level where the organism remains alive, which is really cool if you think about it. In these reactions that take place, once again, proteins. Now, as we continue to move forward, the only product a cell can make is a protein. Your DNA in your cells holds your genes. Your genes code for a protein. So the only product a cell can make is a protein. It depends on where it's made as to what it does and what its name is. For some of the proteins that our body makes, they function as an enzyme. Have you ever heard of an enzyme? Or heard it mentioned, like say, for example, in a cleaning solution? Oh, it works enzymatically. Ever heard that? Like, you know, I just love how, like, how many of you have pets? Dogs, cats, gerbils, you know, whatever the case might be, all right? And, you know, you have like the dogs and the cats and that sort of thing that tend to sometimes make a mess, if you know what I mean, all right? And then if you want to go to clean it up, like yesterday I was in PetSmart, and they have this stuff called Nature's Miracle. It's an enzyme cleaner that's supposed to break down the urine or whatever where the pet kind of made a mess, all right? I love how they boast about it works enzymatically. But anyway, okay, enzymes, they are proteins in our bodies. In our bodies, they're good, okay? They're good. Can things go wrong? Yes. Can we lack them? Yes. Can we be absent from some that we need? Yes. Okay? But their goal is to help speed up a reaction. Okay? A lot of them are known as a catalyst. A catalyst is something that gives a boost to a chemical reaction. The best example that I can give you about this, anyone in here lactose intolerant? Anyone in here know someone who's lactose intolerant? Okay? Do you really know what that means?
Lactose, right?
And what's lactose?
It's like anything like dairy products, right?
And do you know exactly like what lactose means in that dairy product?
It's just an enzyme lactase.
Well, to break it down, you need the enzyme lactase. But what is lactose? Any idea what it is? It's a sugar. It's the sugar in the dairy products. Under normal conditions, if we eat dairy and you're not lactose intolerant, you're going to break it down. It's going to go through your system. It's going to get utilized, and it's going to go out as the waste, okay, once it's done. People who have problems breaking that molecule down, they are lacking an enzyme, a protein that the body would normally make. So that protein that would help to break down the lactose is termed lactase, and it would simply be a protein that the lactose molecule could simply sit in, because if the goal is to help it break down faster, the lactose molecule would simply sit into the lactase, and it would help to break the bond, and now we've got material the body can use. But if you have problems with that, and you are lactose intolerant, chances are, if you eat dairy, whoo, things in the body get very interesting. Those of you who know somebody who might be lactose intolerant, and they've eaten lactose when they didn't have like the little lactase pills to take or something, do you know like what happened in their body to make all those things that are going to happen be very interesting? They're not processing it. Woo, yes. You do not want to walk downwind of them. Okay? They get very gassy, bloated, might have to go to the bathroom. It's very uncomfortable because the bloating can be pretty bad. And their body has basically taken that lactose, which is sugar, and has turned it into methane gas. Therefore, the bloating, the gaseous expelling out of their body, all that sort of stuff, is because they just couldn't break it down.
Just a general question about this topic. So like, if it's technically sugar, then how come only that sugar affects?
Because when we look at the sugars of the body, hey Michael, when you look at the sugars of the body, or maybe I should say, sugars that we can consume, all right, which we're going to get to, we have sugars that we can take in that are sucrose, fructose, galactose, maltose, okay? Each one requires the enzyme, and you may not be deficient in the others. The others may be made properly within the body. So we're going to find that these enzymes are going to help with the speed of reaction of these particular molecules. So now, as we look at the rest of chapter 2, in chemistry, and then also applying to biology, we tend to say stuff is either organic or it's not. If we say it's organic, we're letting you know that it has a carbon base. If it's not organic, we're going to see no carbon be present. There are some exceptions for the body. We have some chemicals that are inorganic, but they have a carbon, but they're not considered organic. We have carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and the bicarbonate ion. These are the exceptions in the human body where a carbon is present, but it is not organic. All right? They are considered inorganic. We're going to see in later slides exactly what is meant by the organic chemistry. Because we are looking at biological activities of the body, the organic chemistry that we're going to see, okay, we're going to find that we have biochemicals. Biochemistry is a huge area of science now because of what we've learned about this type of information in the body. Another property, or maybe I should say another molecule that is extremely unique, water. And let's think about this in relationship to the human body